Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.
Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Tuesday, February 25th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by my compañera this morning. I got the lovely Grace Monroe. All you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. Grace, spring training is here. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I am so happy the Yankees are back on my TV. I know it's just spring training games, but y'all know I'm in it to win it. Every inning of every game, including spring training, and I'm just so happy. What about you, Heck? How's Florida?
Florida is amazing. Yankee spring training has been a vibe. Shout out to everyone that's out here, all the different Yankee content creators. Shout out to the Pinstripe reporters, the two twins that you guys see on social media. I love them to death. Carter and Cooper, they're amazing. Their mom's amazing. All the different Yankees that are here. We see Roger Clemens in spring training. CC is amazing.
Yes.
Nick Swisher had a great conversation. Shout out to Nick Swisher. Carlos Carrasco is out there with the camera, and I told him, like, Carlos, you're taking my job, my guy. And he started laughing. It's just good vibes in spring training. I was able to meet Hal Steinbrenner. First day I was there in the elevator because I was going up towards the press box, right? And I get in the elevator on my phone, not paying attention. And I look up and you feel someone right next to you, and it was Hal. I was like, oh, how you doing, Hal?
Hector, look up, put the phone down, keep your head on a swivel. My boy.
but besides that, it's been pure vibes. Of course, Oswaldo Cabrera, love the guy as well. Jazz Chisholm has been amazing. Jasson Domínguez has been awesome. We'll get into that. The captain, Aaron Judge. When I tell you guys the impact that Aaron Judge has on fans, words can't describe it. I was there where the simulated game was at on the practice field. So Garrett Cole was pitching, was looking phenomenal. But before the simulated game, they was doing BP. It was Oswaldo, it was DJ LeMahieu, it was Aaron Judge. They were doing BP there, and Austin Wells as well, and Anthony Volpe. And after Aaron Judge hit, he kept walking back to the fences to sign autographs to fans. And Grace, you know I have a sweet spot for twins, right? There was these two twins, Latino boys, probably 9 or 10 years old, that when Judge signed their balls, crying, boogers were coming out their faces, and the captain, he did a great job. He was signing autographs to everyone that's there. So shout out to number 99.
Aaron Judge is just the absolute perfect captain we could have asked for. The ultimate leader, the ultimate example, the nicest guy. I mean, he's like class president, prom king. You know what I mean? Like he's like. You know, he's one of those. So he's really special. I want to bring up what he said about the facial hair policy later when we get into that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Really, I've never been like a front runner type of girl that likes the most popular guy. I always like somebody else with like a little bit of an edge on them, a little bit of a like Ninja Turtles. Remember the Ninja Turtles? Everybody liked Leonardo, and I'm like, I like Raphael. Like, I always liked, like, the side guy, you know? But Aaron Judge, so everybody's like, oh, you're a Yankees fan? Aaron Judge must be your favorite player. And I was always like, no, he's not. It's whoever it was at the time. And I'm telling you, when I tell you, Aaron Judge has really been growing on me. Like, really, really, really been growing on me to becoming my favorite player. I'm not ready to declare that yet. I love him, no doubt. But he's really growing on me. I'm not gonna lie. He's getting a little bit of an edge, and I'm here for it.
I want to shout out my guy CK in the chat.
Oh my God!
With a $2 super chat who says, happy Luke Weaver days until opening day 30. Guys, make sure you guys check out my guy CK and Anthony, King of the Pinstripes. They got a dope podcast that's out right now. Chris, if you want, you could drop the link in the chat. Chris, I'm going to try to make you a mod. That way you could drop the link to both your Instagram for you and Ann. Shout out to my guy CK who's putting out amazing content. Shout out to Theo Nosebleed section in the building. Nosebleed, how you doing? FL Divers in the building. FL Diver, how you doing, my guy? The Ace Avenue is in the building. My guy Ace, how you doing? Sean Browning, good morning. Miss Tina, how you doing?
Oh my God.
Shout out to Tina in the building. Who else is here? Gregory Wayne is in the building. Shout out to Gregory Wayne. We got TC Stills in the building. Listen, all you Yankee fans, we appreciate you guys. Jacob Petruzzi, my man, Pots and Pans. We are on our way to 5K subscribers. We are at 4,843 on the last time I checked this morning. We are right there. We are running towards 5K. So if you guys can help us out, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Before we get into any of the conversation, I got some behind the scene footage that I got some, shout out to Latino Sports in the plug, right? In the description. Make sure you guys go to latinosports.com. Check out the articles that we put out every day. I am down here because of Latino Sports, and I wouldn't be having the access I have if it wasn't for the company that I work for. So I got 2 videos that I want to play. Spring training views. So let's do the spring training views, Grace.
All right.
Ooh, child, listen. Naturally, the voice within me that speaks to
And when I tell you, it is vibes and spring training. It is vibes. You got Roger Clemens there. You got Alex Rodriguez. You got CC Sabathia there. You got Andy Pettit. You got Ron Guidry, Nick Swisher. The legends are out giving knowledge. One more video, and then we jump into the convo. And, I'm a very old soul. That's why I like those old school tunes with that one right there.
I see you have even some future Yankees on there with Vladdy, so.
Oh. Throwing spice already. We'll get into that as well. I want to shout out the chat. We got old Sarge in the building. Sarge, how you doing? Got to throw this out for old Sarge, my guy, old Sarge. Appreciate you. Salute. 3 capital S's. But let's get into the first conversation, and probably something that a lot of Yankee fans are talking about. We got to talk about Giancarlo Stanton, right? We got to talk about Giancarlo Stanton and his injury, right? This is from Brian Hoke. Shout out to Hokey, who's out there at spring training. Aaron Judge on Giancarlo Stanton traveling back to New York for further testing. We'll see what the doctors say about what's going on. I've been checking with him every day, talking to him. We went out to dinner. He's got a positive mindset with everything. I want a healthy G in the middle of the season. And when Aaron Judge put that out there in the middle of the season, it kind of, as a Yankee fan, you could see the writing on the wall that Giancarlo Stanton will start the season on the IL, maybe miss the first month or 2. And this is one thing that I said last night on the TikTok live that I was doing. If you guys aren't following Uptown Sports TV on TikTok, please do. We go live on TikTok as well. Giancarlo Stanton is more important to the New York Yankees in October than he is in April. I don't want to see, as much as I want Giancarlo Stanton to be out there, I would rather see Giancarlo Stanton hitting home runs in October, be healthy in October, than hitting home runs in April. Home runs in April, they do not count towards the postseason and towards the end goal. So yes, would we like to see a healthy Giancarlo Stanton for the rest of the season? Absolutely. To start the year, 100%. But we always got to remember, we have to keep this man healthy for the postseason run. That's where he is most effective. Grace, what's your thoughts on that?
100%. I mean, he had one of the greatest postseason runs of all time last year. Y'all know I've already spouted out the statistics before, but his second best all time, off the top of my head, second best all time postseason home runs to at bat appearances ratio in the history of baseball. I mean, this man is a monster in Stantober, so we definitely need him then. Obviously, we need him all the time, but if we have to choose, that's when the priority is 100%. Also, I think we all know that Aaron Judge doesn't mince words. If he said, I need him in the middle of the season, he meant to say middle of the season very specifically to either A, prepare our expectations or, start to hedge the bet, calm the fans, put it in their mind. I mean, he doesn't say anything on accident. So the fact that he let that slip was not a slip. Like, he meant to say that. So I definitely agree, Hector. I think we're going to hear some IL news at some point. Maybe he's going to New York to get some PRP injections, which I said on our last episode. I had read that is a treatment option for tennis elbow. that does usually help, and it takes a couple months to recover. So that would kind of fit the middle of the season timeline that Aaron Judge is talking about. This is all speculation. We are not doctors,
No.
but it could be some sort of PRP injection therapy course that they're going to do. I don't know. I mean, surgery would be devastating at this point in his career. And then I don't even want to say anything else. I don't even want to elaborate because y'all know I love Giancarlo. I'm not even going to go there. Okay, so as of right now, we're waiting to hear. We're going to hear something soon. Everybody just prepare thyselves.
When it comes to Giancarlo Stanton, I think the Yankees are trying to be precautionary with it. This is something that he dealt with in the postseason. Shout out to my good friend Morgan in the chat. Morgan, my friend from Tiki Talk, is in the building. It's something he was dealing with in the postseason. Tennis elbows. There's two ways to look at it. It could be minor or major, right? And grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, however you want to label it, right? I'm not a doctor. I'm just a man on YouTube. The Yankees and Giancarlo Stanton probably thought it was a grade 1, a minor version of that injury. So he played through it in the postseason. He probably got some MRI done after the World Series, right? I'm just speculating. I don't know anything. He probably got some MRI imaging done, deep tissue imaging done after the World Series. And coming into spring training, he went a whole month without swinging a bat because of that pain. Maybe the Yankees did a second follow-up MRI, and that didn't look good to them, or it looked the same, meaning that no recovery had happened from that injury. That's why they're sending him to the specialist in New York. And when you have to go see Dr. Andrews, he's a specialist in New York. He has his he doesn't work, quote unquote, for the Yankees. He has his own practice, and the Yankees contract him as a specialist, just like every other team in Major League Baseball. This is who you guys should go and see, is Dr. Andrews, whether you're on the East Coast or West Coast. They got a guy on the West Coast, I forgot his name. But if you have to go see Dr. Andrews, 90 to 95% of the players that go and see Dr. Andrews go under the knife, and they are out for a significant time. So it's always alarming when someone goes to see Dr. Andrews. The last Yankee, I think,
Dr.
Ahmad Andrews, yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Ahmad Andrews. Yeah, am I saying his name correct? It's Dr. Ahmad Andrews, right?
I don't know. I've never heard anyone call him Andrews, but
Dr. Ahmad, whatever. If I said it wrong,
maybe there was another doctor. I was just asking.
But if he's going to see Dr. Ahmad, has to go under the knife. The last Yankee pitcher that went to go see him that didn't go under the knife was Tanaka. So maybe that could be a good sign right there, but I'm not too sure. What's your thoughts, Grace?
I mean, everybody's screaming that, why didn't they do this at the end of last season? Why did they wait till now? Well, I'll tell you why. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a girl on YouTube, as Hector would say. But here's the reason why. A lot of times with soft tissue and stuff like that, and tendons, ligament, all this stuff, your body can heal itself to a certain degree. And the only way to know if it's going to do that is to give your body a little bit of time. So here's what the conversation could have sounded like at the end of last year. Big G, we imaged you. It ain't looking good, my man. So we might have to do surgery. Giancarlo says, well, what's the other option? The doctor says, well, the other option is we give you a bunch of time off. Don't swing. Don't do anything crazy. And let's image you in March. And we'll see, image you in February, and we'll see how much your body's recovered. And then we got a 50% chance you're still going to need surgery, 50% chance you won't need surgery. And it's like, which one do you want to take that chance that your body could heal and you can miss surgery altogether? Or do you want to go ahead and get surgery and miss the whole season? Well, You can't blame him or the Yankees or the medical staff or anybody else for saying, hey, we got a 50% chance. Let's take that chance because we want Giancarlo in the lineup. We need Giancarlo in the lineup. If it doesn't work out, then we'll find out in spring training. We'll assess it then, and you'll miss a couple months. But is it worth the chance to even try to let your body heal? The answer is yes. It is worth the chance. So that's, I think, what happened. That's what they did. That's why this didn't get done in December, because they wanted to see how well his body would do after some rest. Unfortunately, it didn't do as well as they hoped, it sounds like. So now they're trying to assess next steps. If we don't get Giancarlo back until June, that's okay, y'all. It's going to be okay. We're going to be fine. We're going to figure it out. Okay, everybody. We just need him, like Hector said, in Stantober.
Yes, yeah, woosah. As if you watch the movie Bad Boys, you know Martin Lawrence loved to do the woosah. Woosah. I want to shout out my good friend Nabila, who is in the chat, my colleague from Latino Sports, who says Latino Sports is going to the moon on God. Shout out to Nabila. Nabila, she does the album boxing, right? She covers the boxing. She's an amazing interviewer, amazing journalist. Guys, make sure if you guys are into boxing, MMA, make sure you guys go to latinosports.com, read the articles that Nabila posts on the website. Also, make sure you guys follow her on social media, on Instagram. Nabila is a phenomenal voice when it comes to women in sports, is an awesome colleague. And in our group chat, I'll be dying laughing for half of the stuff that she put there. So shout out to Nabila. I just wanted to give her a shout out. My guy, Jason, appreciate you, Jason. Christopher Ahmad and James Andrew. So I was just getting them through. There is a doctor named James Andrew, but he did retire, I think, this past year, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, back to Big G, when it comes to Big G, and again, shout out to the 45 people that are on YouTube, that 80 people, the 90 people that are watching us collectively. I appreciate you guys. Smack that like button, hit that subscribe button. When it comes to Giancarlo Stanton, take your time. Relax. Like you said, we need him for a Stantober. We don't need him hitting home runs in April. We don't need him hitting home runs in June. We don't need that. Shout out to my guy NFE in the strike zone. I love the new logo, NFE. That's a dope microphone. We need Giancarlo Stanton not to rush things. And with the DH spot being open now, I could see that because we know Aaron Boone likes to rest Aaron Judge in the beginning of the season. I can see Aaron Judge, majority of his ABs or majority of his playing times you'll see a lot of Aaron Judge at DH. That's a given. Now that you have that DH spot open, you could rotate guys at the beginning of the season to keep them healthy. Yeah. You see a lot of Aaron Judge DHing. You see a lot of DJ LeMahieu DHing. You may see Paul Goldschmidt DHing at the same time. So it's going to be a revolving door when it comes to that DH spot, not just one person locked into it. So it gives the Yankees some flexibility while they wait for Giancarlo Stanton to come back.
Yeah, there is some bright side to it. I totally agree. It allows some rotation days for DH and some rest days and all that stuff. We do have a fourth outfielder with Trent Grisham, and we also have Oswaldo Cabrera, which they haven't announced who's going to have the third base starting job. But we do have people who can rotate in and out, give guys off days, allow other people to DH, and give us some flexibility, especially at the beginning of the year. And, that's the bright side. We have to look at the bright side because the reality of the situation is Giancarlo, unfortunately, has to navigate through injury. At this point in his career, it's toward the end, and that's just the reality of the situation. So, but that being said, he still has stuff to offer this team, and we saw that last year, in case you forgot, which some of us never forgot, but in case you forgot, we saw it last year. So we still need that, and that's all we need from him. So
great. I just want to let you know, because I can't see the comments on Instagram from StreamYard, but Nabila was in the comment section. I just want to let you know, Nabila was like, "Oh my God, Grace, you are so beautiful. What's your favorite books? Facts." Facts. Grace is spitting facts. I just gotta let you know Nabila was shouting you out on our Instagram chat. So yes, we support women in sports over here, especially at Uptown Sports TV. Make sure you guys are following Grace Monroe on Twitter, who does amazing work on the X or the Twitter. The description, her link is in the description down below. And talking about Aaron Boone and third base, Grace is amazing. Easy segue, right? Because I was able to ask Aaron Boone some questions in the press box. Again, in the press pool. Again, shout out to Latino Sports. I wouldn't have this opportunity if it wasn't for Julio Pabon and the amazing people I work with. So here's my question with Boone, and we'll get into the conversation about third base. Well, though, right? Best ability is availability and his versatility. How much would that weigh into your decision when it comes to third base for this season?
It's not like I'm deciding on March 27th. This is like it's always evolving and always. So I expect him to be a really important player for us this year, and whatever role that is, whether he grabs the bulk of the at-bats there or whether he's doing what he's done in the past, playing all over the place.
So, Grace, you can lead us in the conversation when it comes to that. We do have our good friend Erica backstage, who I sent the link to see, because it's been a minute since Erica was on. Erica, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to come in. And this is a great conversation to have Erica in talking about Aaron Boone. But go ahead, Grace, you can lead us in the conversation as I bring Erica up.
So now that Erica's here, Gleyber Torres. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Shots fired. Holy
No,
crap.
I'm kidding. We don't talk about him anymore around here. But
Want to shout out Ethan in the chat. Ethan, I love the profile pic. Ethan, I've never been hunting. Maybe you can show me how to go hunting, Ethan. I look forward to that. Shoot me a DM. Let me know if that's possible. Go ahead, Grace. Sorry about that.
the thing that struck me originally the most about that clip when you showed me backstage, and I already said this to you, Hector, but I was like, Aaron Boone looks so relaxed and like comfortable, like he's chilling in his position. He feels like confident. Like, I'm the Yankees manager for the next however many years. Y'all better listen to me. I haven't decided yet. And I ain't got to decide yet. That's what he sounded like to me. And I'm like, okay, I'm like here for the swag era of Aaron Boone. If he chooses to keep going in this direction, I'll be here for it. I agree with him. You know, he doesn't have to decide yet, and he doesn't have to make a permanent decision, right? What we want is the best team on the field. That's it. We want the best team on the field. The best player at third base should play third base. I don't care if it's a utility guy. I don't care if it's whoever. The best team should be on the field playing. And I feel like Aaron thinks that is a fluid picture, probably having to do with the pitchers, probably having to do with who's healthy at the time and all that stuff. So hopefully he will navigate us in that direction.
Ethan, no, I'm not going to the game today because they're on the road. My last game is tomorrow, covering the St. Louis game. So I'll be at GMS tomorrow, George M. Steinbrenner Field tomorrow. Erica, what's your thoughts on the conversation? Aaron Boone, third base. It's been a minute since you've been here. We miss you. We love you. Glad that you're back, Erica, as well. And also, guys, make sure you guys follow That's Baseball Erica on YouTube and on Instagram. I will drop the links in the chat so you guys can follow and subscribe. Go ahead. Yeah, Erica.
What's up, guys? Yeah, I got to shake the rust off a little bit. I came in halfway. It's hard for me to do anything. If you guys don't know, I tore my meniscus. I got it surgically repaired, and I've been like laid up on this couch for quite some time. So getting back and forth and trying to grab like my iPad or everything takes forever. So I'm just jumping in. I'm assuming he was trying to address the third base concerns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's just saying he can't make a decision right now, and he's going to go through spring training to figure out like who's going to be in that spot. Like I said, I just kind of jumped in, so I'm sorry.
No, all good. First of all, I hope you have a speedy recovery. You know, I'm sending you all the positive energy in the world. But, you know, he was talking about Oswaldo Cabrera, and the question I asked him, I kind of pinned him in the corner, and I was telling Grace backstage, again, Nabila, I appreciate you. Everybody at Latino Sports is the inspiration and the rock for us, right? The work that you do, the work that Julio does, and everybody over there in Nabila, I appreciate you. But when it comes to Aaron Boone, I asked him about Oswaldo Cabrera, and, you know, your best ability is availability, right? Because DJ LeMahieu has been injured. And when you look at his versatility, Aaron Boone's, we know going into the season, day one, John Birdie was in the starting lineup for the New York Yankees last year, if I'm not mistaken. In the World Series, he wasn't, right? So we understand that day one, opening day, that roster in that lineup tends to be a lot different when you go into the postseason, right? So we know Brian Cashman loves to move at the trade deadline. I can see Oswaldo Cabrera getting the majority of his at-bats at third base, and he will get the bulk of those at-bats. My only concerns for Oswaldo is he going to switch hit, or is he just going to be a left-handed hitter? Because when he hits from the left-hand side, he's a 280, he's a 290 hitter. Even against left-handed pitching, when he hits from the right-hand side of the plate, that number drastically falls to like 100 when it comes to his batting average. Aaron Boone said Oswaldo has been working on hitting from both sides. He is a switch hitter, and he will stick with being a switch hitter. So that's the question I want to ask, and you guys can lead the conversation. Grace, if you want to throw it out there, what's your thoughts on Oswaldo for third base?
Yeah, I mean, I did read an article recently, and I can't remember who wrote it. I'm so sorry. But it was about Oswaldo's switch hitting capabilities and how he had been focusing just on the left side because he'd been having so much more success with that. But this offseason, he practiced a lot more on the right side to try to not give up on being a switch hitter, and he kind of unlocked a little couple things for himself. And so he is going to focus this year, supposedly, on being a true switch hitter. So we'll see how that goes. It's really, 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 really hard to hit in Major League Baseball, and it's really hard, really, really hard to hit from both sides. I mean, this is a crazy ability if you can do it successfully on both sides. So, I don't know. We're going to see how that plays out. I'm very interested to see how that plays out. I haven't seen DJ. Where is DJ? I mean, I've seen some batting practice footage, but has he played in any games yet? I mean,
official games, they've had him in the backfield playing in the simulated games, right? And then taking BP. And I've watched him taking BP. When he's taking BP, the sound off the bat is amazing. The simulated games, it's not the same. And I'm not sure if it's a mental thing. I'm not sure if it's a physical thing, but we know that baseball is 80% mental, 20% physical. We've seen superstars like Jose Bautista get punched in the face by Ruben Odor and disappear off the face of the earth. We've seen Tim Anderson, who won a batting title, won a Gold Glove. He get punched in the face and disappear off the face of the earth because of the mental component of baseball. Yeah. Gary Sanchez, Clint Frazier, Miguel Andujar, those were top-rated prospects. As soon as they struggled with the New York Yankees, the fans let them hear it, and they cracked under the pressure. They weren't able to break out of the pressure. Aaron Judge didn't crack under the pressure, right? Garrett Cole, as a prospect, never cracked under the pressure. So when it comes to baseball, got to understand it's 80% mental, 20% physical. Go ahead, Erica. I'll toss it over to you. And CK, we'll get to your super chat in a second. Go ahead, A.
I'll just say this. I'm just upset that we're going into another. This has been like my biggest gripe is that we're going into another season where we don't have a solid third baseman, and we're asking all these questions again. That trade with Josh Donaldson, that was just the downfall. But ever since then, DJ's injuries at this point, like I'm rooting hard for Peraza to win out that role. Same. He's sound at third base. You've seen him the game 2 days ago. He looked really good over there. He has upside offensively, the potential. A lot of people did say that he was better. Oh, look at that. A lot of people say that he was better offensively than Volpe leading into the season 2 years ago. So it's just unfortunate that he's been getting, he's hurt. And anytime he has an opportunity, the Yankees have such a short leash on him. So I'm ready to rip the Band-Aid off with DJ. It sounded like the Yankees were ready to do it too, but Judge stepped in. I hope Judge, made the right decision. But yeah, I'm just really upset that we're going into another year where we have a massive question mark at third base. The left side of our infield doesn't really have offensively doesn't have much pop, and usually you do have a power bat at third. But the Yankees are loaded with power bats at this point with a guy like Goldschmidt, Bellinger, Judge, even the potential of Wells. So I'm okay with taking that, dealing with having a weak left side of the infield as far as offensively goes with a power hitter, but I don't know. I personally hope that Peraza wins out that job.
Yeah. When it comes to Peraza, he has no more options. If he doesn't make the major league roster, the Yankees are going to have to cut him. They can't send him down to AAA, right? So I think he will most likely make the major league roster just for that, and they'll use him as insurance, especially with Giancarlo Stanton now going on the IL. It opens up a spot for Oswaldo Peraza to make the roster opening day, right? Before, if Giancarlo Stanton wasn't injured, his chances may not have been as it is right now. But when you look at DJ LeMahieu, one of my favorite movies growing up, and I watch it with my girlfriend nowadays, is Mean Girls, right? And there's a phrase in that, like, Gretchen is always trying to make fetch happen. And the Yankees with DJ LeMahieu, they're trying to make fetch happen with DJ LeMahieu. No disrespect to DJ and what he meant to this organization when he was in his prime, when he was contending for MVP, when he was winning batting titles. He was amazing. Solid deep defender as well, Gold Glove as well. But when you get those hip surgeries, the oomph that you have in your swing, it disappears. We've seen it with Alex Rodriguez. We've seen it with Bo Jackson. We've seen it in years past. Chris Davis as well. I think he had some type of hip surgery as well. So you see it in Major League Baseball. I just hope when it comes to DJ LeMahieu, we don't need you to be the batting title DJ LeMahieu. If you could just play solid defense wherever they put you, whether that's at third, whether that's at first base, 240 to a 260 hitter, that's all we can expect from DJ LeMahieu nowadays. I don't want any Yankee fan out there to expect DJ LeMahieu to return to his MVP form, because that's not going to happen. We're lucky if we get 50% of DJ LeMahieu. He's making $15 million this year, and next year, the year after, I don't think he's on the books. So the Yankees are going to try to throw him out there, and he may be with the team going into the postseason, or the Yankees may have to cut their losses by the time the trade deadline comes around to make some spots on the roster for additions.
For me, if all we can expect from DJ is 240 and good defense, that's Oswald Peraza. I mean, that's it. And he's got A+ defense in my view. He's an incredible defender. And I've been watching him really close. I've been pulling for him so hard, just like you, Erica. And when he worked a single the other day, he's been working walks. Great defense at third, and I'm just like, give him a chance. And I feel like he's been working on his English, which made me almost cry the other day when he gave a little interview with Meredith, because I don't know if y'all remember, and this is a rumor, allegedly, but there was a horrible, nasty rumor that I hope to God is not true, that part of the reason why Volpe got chosen over Oswald was because Oswald's English wasn't good at the time, and they wanted the face of the Yankees, the shortstop, to be able to give interviews and be, little Mr. Commercial, whatever. That's a horrible rumor, and I hope it's not true. Allegedly. But to see him, he's obviously worked so hard on that, and he was trying so hard. I swear to God, I almost cried. I'm pulling for this kid so hard. I know he's out of options. They asked him, well, you could go, if you get past their waivers, you could have a chance with another team. He said, I don't want to play with another team. I want to be a New York Yankee. And I'm like, oh, come on, Peraza, you can do it. So I really, really hope. Go ahead.
Fun fact, Grace, when he was having that interview with Meredith, I was right next to them.
Oh, that's cool.
First of all, I'm done with you.
Big time. He's big time.
I know.
Go ahead. You can chime in on that one. Go ahead, Erica.
No, when you were mentioning them picking Volpe all over Peraza, I mean, what Volpe did that spring training, it was undeniable. Like, I was rooting for him at that point too, but it almost feels like maybe they were also rooting for the Cinderella story, and it's not panning out. I think Volpe, this is a prove it year for him. If he looks good, then work on the extension immediately, try to get him on the low. But it sounded like they were working for the Cinderella story. The kid from New Jersey, grew up watching the Yankees, favorite player was Derek Jeter, gonna slot him in at shortstop. It made for amazing headlines. Right. And so far it just hasn't panned out to, I guess, what they expected. That's why I think this is a big year 3 for them. But I love how hungry Peraza is. Like, you can tell he has a chip on his shoulder. You can tell he's still bothered by the decision that they made 2 years ago. And like I said, it's unfortunate that he just has been hindered with injuries at just the wrong times. And again, that short leash that they have on him. We wanted to see him start more last year, and he was just riding the bench. And I just don't understand why they continue to do these with the prospects. It's just going to be another failed project. I mean, it's a long laundry list of guys that we held on to, didn't make big trades for, that are not even on the team. It's unfortunate. So I guess we'll see what happens.
I remember last year at one point they called him up. He was in the dugout and he never played. But they showed him on the TV, on the camera, and he was just walking around like chewing gum, like chilling. And I said to myself, oh, he knows he's not going in the game. Yeah. Like, you could tell he knows. And I just feel like I totally agree, Erica. Like, I don't know what they were doing. I swear, I don't know if I don't know. I don't even want to speculate. But let me say, if he does get a chance at third base, it does put some pressure on Volpe, not in a he's going to lose his job type of way, but in a, iron sharpens iron type of way. And the guy who he beat out for the job is right next to him. And Peraza, I'm sure, feels that too. Not in a toxic way, but in a we're all competitors, we're all athletes, we're all trying to be the best we can be type of way. And that's only good for the team. I think, oh my God, can you imagine the defense with Volpe, Peraza, just the defense, Volpe, Peraza, Chisholm, and Goldschmidt? Are you serious?
That's it.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, I'm right there with you, Grace. Shout out to my guy Caleb Vasquez in the building. Caleb, Look forward to you touching down tomorrow in Florida so we could be at Yankee spring training. Shout out to my guy Caleb, dope content creator, dope Yankee fan as well. Appreciate all the work that he does. My guy Abe Becker is in the building. This is a guy from Yankees Country. They have a dope Yankees Discord. Becker, if you want, I can't make you a moderator because I have to switch out. If you want, you can switch to your other Yankees Country and drop the link to the Discord in the chat as well. CK, I want to get to CK Super Chat with the $5 Super Chat. First of all, is that iced coffee? Is that iced coffee that you're drinking? Shout out to the iced coffee. I'm somebody that it could be 20 degrees and I still drink iced coffee. But
it's 60 degrees here today, so I had to pull out the iced coffee. Switch it out.
You guys, I saw somebody posted. I'm not sure if it was you that it was like it was 40 degrees in New York, so you went outside wearing shorts. That was you, right? That said
it wasn't me. No.
Oh, okay.
She's like, I'm on the couch, boo. I can't walk.
Oh yeah. $5 super chat who says, in the spirit of the month of February, Valentine's Day. I guess this was before Erica came up. If both of you were single, if all three of us were single, which Yankee player, past or present, would you want as a wingman? I'm not single, but if I was single, I would say Nick Swisher. Nick Swisher is one of the most hilarious personalities that is out there right now. If you go, Nick Swisher reminds me of the frat kid that could just start a party with just ping pong balls. So shout out to Nick Swisher and his personality, but I would have to say Nick Swisher if I had to give an answer to that. Shout out to you, CK. What about y'all?
Oh my God. As a wingman, I mean, can I say Meredith?
You can say
Bro, I love Meredith Marakovitz. We would be like going out to the bars, having so much fun, meeting everybody. You got a blonde, you got a brunette. What do you want? Come over here. Let's talk. I'm not single. I'm happily married.
Yeah, I'm also married, guys. I'm not single, but I think it would be Derek Jeter just because I want to hang out with him.
Okay.
But also, he might help provide a gift basket. I mean, you've seen his track record. God. He pulls some, talent.
Famous, celebrity.
Pulls some talent. So
allegedly. Again, I want to shout out the chat. We got over 150 people watching us collectively. On YouTube, we have 65 people on YouTube. We're sitting at 31 likes. If you guys can, smack that like button on YouTube. Let's try to get the likes up to at least 50. Doing the likes is free. All you got to do is just take your mouse, hit that like button, or take your finger, hit that like button, right? So I appreciate you guys as we keep the conversation going. Let's talk about the facial hair policy with the New York Yankees. Everybody's favorite topic to talk about, the Yankees facial hair policy. Shout out to that guy, John, who said the description, after decades of strict grooming rules, the Yankees have officially updated their facial hair policy. Players are now allowed to have well-groomed beards, making a major shift from the team's long-standing tradition. Hal Steinbrenner consulted former and current Yankees before making the tradition. Shout out to my guy Ethan in the chat, because last night on TikTok, when we were talking about this, he said this conversation is basically like dudes having conversations about Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl. Why are we having this conversation? It makes no sense in the world. But I want to ask you, Grace, if you want to lead it, let's get your take on the facial hair policy being gone.
Yeah, my boy Nathaniel in the chat wants to know if I'm finally going to grow out my beard. And I've been thinking about it. And, I think I'm going to go the way of the captain and keep shaving for tradition. So that's just my personal choice. Just kidding. Thanks a lot, Nathaniel. Appreciate you. But anyway, I don't give a rat's ass about the facial hair policy. I'm so tired of talking about this shit. And can we please move on now? The rule is gone. Can we all just move on? And I'm talking about other fans as well as Yankees fans, but as other fans who love to slam the team for the facial hair policy, former players who want to bring it up, current content creators who want to harp on it all the time. I'm just like, can we please just all stop talking about it? Like, and good for Hal to say, you know what? I'm not my dad. I respect my dad. I know somebody asked him in the press conference about facial hair, but anyway, somebody asked him, what would your dad say about this? And he said, and this isn't a direct quote, but more or less he said, above all, my dad wanted to win. And I was like, boom, Hal, shut them up. So you know, the legacy of George lives on in other ways. And I think good for them to take away any negative thing that people wanted to say or wanted to talk about. But I have a conspiracy theory about why this finally happened. And I'll tell you real quick. And then Erica, get your input. You know I love my conspiracies. Erica's always like, Grace, you're not dramatic at all. And I'm like, ah! Anyway. So here's my conspiracy theory. When we traded for Devin Williams, okay, Cashman got him on the horn. And he's like, hey, we're bringing you over. We're really excited to have you. You know, we're going to move our closer to the setup role. You're going to become our closer. It's a storied like tradition and honor to be the Yankees closer. You know, it's going to be Mariano Rivera's role. And we would love to have you. We're really excited to have you. And we're also very interested, Devin, in talking to you about an extension. If you're open to talking about it, we would like to talk to you about it. At that point, Devin Williams said, yeah, I would love to talk about an extension. Like, let's do it. I'm so excited to be a Yankee, blah, blah, blah. Okay, a couple weeks later, they're like, Devin, you got to shave. Well, we all know how that went down, right? You could see it on his face. You could see it on the teammates' faces. Everybody knew how he felt about it. He was not happy. He did it. He complied, but he was not happy. Well, now we found out that he went to Cashman and he went to Hal. And he made his feelings known to both of them. But here's my conspiracy theory. Because of the previous conversation that I believe took place where Cashman said, we're interested in extending you. He said, y'all, I just want you to know, this is going to affect my decision on our extension talks and my entrance into free agency at the end of this season. And Hal said, okay, it's enough is enough. Because Hal said in his press conference, if we miss out on even one player because of the facial hair policy, that's too much. I think Devin Williams is that player. I think that conversation already happened. And I think they've already moved into not extension negotiation, but they've made their interest known. And this was an obstacle and they took it out. That's what I believe. That's my conspiracy theory. Erica, what do you think?
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, Devin Williams came into spring training like he was walking the hallways of the facility with his beard fully intact, almost like maybe they'll say I could keep it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I forget her last name on Twitter, Emily. I forget her last name, but she posted a League of Their Own, and that basically Hal. It's the scene where John Lovitz sees Marla Hooch for the first time. And that was Hal seeing Devin Williams without his beard for the first time. He's like, we gotta bring the facial policy back. I love it.
He goes, what are we gonna do? A lot of night games.
I'm a huge fan of the beard. I always hated that they had to shave it off. It takes away the aura, as the kids say. Garrett Cole with the beard in the playoffs on the Astros, man, that was all the aura. And then now you see his chin. I don't know. But, you know, let the players be them. Like they said, it's a new generation, and beards are prominent in this generation. So I don't think it's a big deal. Like I said, I'm ready to move past it. I was really excited at the time. I woke up to the news and I was like, yes! Just like how I woke up yesterday or midday finding out that New York isn't playing. But yeah, I'm just excited for all these little changes. You know, you haven't won in 16 years. Stop enforcing a beard rule. Like, win first, and then you can enforce rules again. Worry about that. Just like Hal said, winning is number one. Anybody that has a problem with the facial hair policy, you're wasting time and energy, dude. Just let it be. Yeah. We'll be used to it by 2 weeks from now. So.
As somebody who's down here working media, right, and getting to see like some questions that the players like to answer and some questions that the players hate to answer, right? So I was in the tunnel when Meredith was talking to Garrett Cole, and they talked about the facial hair policy. And at the end of the interview, after Garrett was walking away, Garrett was like, "I'm tired of talking about that question. I'm tired of that question. They're tired about that question. They're tired about the Juan Soto question. They're just worried about 2025." They're worried about winning a championship. They're trying to get back to the postseason, get back to the World Series. And I'm tired of the Juan Soto conversation as well. I'm right there with you. For you Yankee fans that are wasting energy talking about Juan Soto, stop it. stop engaging with the Met fans. If you're a Met fan, feel how you feel. Get excited. If I was a Met fan, I'd be doing the same thing. But Yankee fans, stop engaging with the Met fans on Twitter. You look horrible, right? Pointing out that Juan Soto is getting chubby, all this, that, and the third. You're just looking for excuses to make yourself feel better that Juan Soto is playing in Queens. Stop it. You're looking like the kid whose prom date left you on prom night because, you decided to spill something on her dress. Stop it, right? Allow Juan Soto to be in Queens. Enjoy the team you have right now. We still have Aaron Judge. Shout out to the doggy poo right there. We still have Aaron Judge. We still have Garrett Cole. We still have a team that we can root for. And when we meet with the Mets and Juan Soto in the Subway Series, save your booing for there. Save your energy for that time because that's going to be a movie, right? We just hope that both teams are over 500 and both teams are killing it at the same time. For me, when it comes to the Yankees facial hair policy, Devin Williams has been on the Yankees' radar for the past 4 years. This has been a guy that Brian Cashman has tried repeatedly to get. He just got him this past year, and I think the facial hair policy had to. I'm with you, Grace. I think it was to make sure that the Yankees can keep Devin Williams next year. Because speaking with Devin Williams at the Pinstripe Pride event in New Jersey, shout out to Hall of Fame signers for having it. That was the one thing he was not looking forward to, for shaving his beard. Now, if I was Devin Williams, I'll feel some type of way. Like, y'all really waited a week after I shaved to get rid of the rule? Like, you could have just fucking get rid of the rule when we showed up to spring training. You had to wait a week after I shaved. It's going to take me 3 months or maybe a year to get it back to what it was. So if I was Devin Williams, I'll be frustrated from that end. But it's a rule that's been around since 1976. Shout out to my guy Richie Riviera from Empire State of Baseball. Shout out to ESB. Make sure you guys go and follow them over there. They put out amazing work on that platform on Twitter as well. Richie Riviera, I miss you, my guy. Baseball is back. But yeah, when it comes to the rule, it's been around since 1976. That rule is so old. 2 years before that rule got implemented, a law was passed to allow women to have their own bank account in the United States. That's how long that rule has been implemented, right? So 1976, it's a long time ago. Let it just die away. George Steinbrenner is not here with the Yankees anymore. He passed away. This is house team, like Erica says. Winning is the number one thing that's important. And my guy Keith McPherson, he says it on WFAN. And like Erica said, we haven't won since 2009. It's hard to keep on talking about tradition when the tradition for the past 15, 16 years has been getting embarrassed in the postseason. So if you want to talk about tradition, we need to start talking about winning. I care more about winning a World Series than how players look with facial hair and beard. Now, no one's saying go out there and be Brandon Marsh. No one's saying that. The Yankees aren't saying that. You have to be well-groomed, it has to be kept up, it has to be clean.
Damn, shots fired at Brandon Marsh.
Yeah, well, he has like a whole Abraham Lincoln thing going on now, right? Come on.
Dynasty.
Take care of it,
4 score. Oh my God. I mean, I think that the Yankees felt some type of way, just like we did, watching the Dodgers celebrate a World Series win on our field in the Boogie Down with New York by Frank frickin' Sinatra playing. And I don't know about y'all, but I switched off my TV so fucking fast because I was like, I turned it off because I was like, I'm not listening to Frank while I watch Mookie and Freddie and all these guys running all over our field. It was heartbreaking. It was horrible. Obviously, we're all pissed about that game. It was devastating. Okay, we're not going there. But the point is, the Yankees watched, they saw, and they changed. That's all you can ask from a front office, from an ownership group, from whatever you want to say. They are listening. They are seeing. They got embarrassed, and they said, that's never going to happen again. Never. So It's awesome.
Hopefully they listen a little more and then they start to spend more than $300 million on this team.
Oh God.
Spend more money.
Folks in the chat, I just dropped the link to Erica's YouTube channel. That's Baseball Erica. Make sure you guys go and subscribe over there on that channel. She is sitting at 199 subscribers. We are trying to get Erica to 1K by the time the All-Star break is here. She didn't know I was going to say that, so I'm going to say that. We're making a push. We're trying to get Erica to 1K. So guys, if you can, make sure you guys follow Erica and subscribe to that channel. We got over 60 people on YouTube, so take a second, go subscribe, and just come right back and join us in the conversation. Now, switching gears, we got to talk about this, right? This is Grace's favorite time. Jasson Domínguez. And and the past game, and Yankee fans losing their ever-loving mind because he misplayed some balls in left field, right? This is the one thing I'm going to say. In spring training, there's no mistakes in spring training. These games don't count, right? You want to see, they count for like, whatever you want to say. But when it comes to the end goal, getting to the World Series, these games don't count towards that. So if Jasson Domínguez is making errors, if Jasson Domínguez is quote unquote struggling, let him struggle right now. That way he learns his reps going into the season. Grace, you know how many at-bats Jasson Domínguez has had in spring training?
3.
7 at-bats in spring training. And people expect him to be an MVP candidate with just 7 at-bats and 2 games where he probably played only half of the games because they take you out for the minor league players so they could get their reps. So allow Jasson Domínguez to be the Martian. Let him develop the same way we let Anthony Volpe develop. Let the Martian develop as well. What's your thoughts, Grace? And then throw it over to Erica.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen him rake in spring training before. The situation now is different. He is focusing on his look. He needs reps, okay? It's actually a good thing that he had those errors in left the other day. Or I guess it was 1 error, or was it? Anyway, I don't know how they scored it, but the 2 misplays.
It was 1, but it was 2 misplays.
2 misplays. The 2 misplays in left field the other day. It's actually a good thing because it allows him to learn what he did wrong, fix it moving forward. The reps is what he needs. He has to be given the time to get that. Spring training is the best place for this to happen. Literally the best case scenario for us is that he makes a bunch of errors or makes a bunch of misplays in left field in spring training, fixes it, and is ready to go by the beginning of the year. That's what we want. Him going out there and catching, cans of corn isn't going to help him improve in left field. Okay. So this is actually good. That's how I'm going to spin it. That's how I'm going to spin it for my boy. And I'm not worried. I'm not worried, y'all. And Aaron Boone has already said multiple times, if he needs to move Jasson to center, he will move Jasson to center. He doesn't need to move him there right now. We already know he can play center. And Cody can switch to left, but he's giving him the chance to be the left fielder, and it's not an emergency yet. It's not an emergency.
Grace, I got the I forgot that I queued up Martian music, so every time you put the Martian, I got the. Yeah. Erica, go ahead. What's your thoughts on Jasson?
Erica, we are a very serious podcast.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, people need to relax. My only concern is that, yes, it was only 1 play. You need to give him reps. Left field isn't his, main natural position. But he made that same mistake last year. And it's I know you're putting him through the ringer, but you want to see some sort of improvement. And there's plenty of time to improve. So I'm not really worried about it. I do get worried that he starts to look at all the negativity surrounding this stuff, and then that gets to him. Mm-hmm. He needs to just make sure that he is not on any social media, reading any articles, because it's spring training and we overanalyze everything. So every article is going to be about, what are the Yankees going to do if Jasson Domínguez doesn't pan out, whether it's offensively or defensively. But left field is a hard position to play, especially at Yankee Stadium. A lot of left fielders have trouble with the sun out there. I don't know how you can replicate that in Tampa, but yeah, he's gonna have a lot of growing pains, and we just have to be patient with it. Just like you said, how we've been patient with Anthony Volpe. I mean, he's had 2 years and, going into year 3 to prove himself. So I just hope that he can turn off the noise and he can just focus on, what he needs to focus on. But I'm not gonna say he needs to go to center field. It's obviously not working out. They clearly have a plan, and hopefully, it works out. But I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. I know it's a phrase that gets overused and gets beat with a drum, but you got to trust the process, right? This is a process right now with Jasson Domínguez. You got to trust it. Worst case scenario, Jasson Domínguez struggles, knock on wood. not my refrigerator, knock on wood, knock on wood for the rest of spring training. Jasson Domínguez, if he struggles the rest of spring training, the Yankees could just move him to center field because Cody Bellinger can play every position in the outfield. They're just giving him reps so he can get comfortable. You see Spencer Jones hitting home runs left and right. I was there in Dunedin, and when he was doing his warm-ups, I caught some video on him. I put it on TikTok. My guy John from Pinstripe Pride, he put it up. No, sorry. John from Pinstripe Nation put it out there that he was going to hit a home run in that game, and he literally hit a home run. He missed another one by like that much. I was in the press box when that happened. But the one thing that did happen in that game, he struck out. And that's what Spencer Jones has to work on. He has to work on his strikeout rate. He has to bring that down. He was a 40% strikeout rate last year, and AA, not even AAA. He hasn't played the game in AAA with that long swing he has. If you compare videos, right? Fireside Yankees, shout out to the guys, Sam and Ryan from Fireside. They do amazing work. They put out amazing stuff. They put a side-by-side comparison from Spencer Jones last year and Spencer Jones this year. And you see his path to the ball is a lot shorter and is a lot quicker. He sacrificed some of his power to make more contact, but that's fine. Spencer Jones, we don't need another 40 home run guy, 50 home. We don't need that whatsoever. Spencer Jones, if you could do 20 to 30 home runs, be a 270 to 280 hitter, get on base, use your speed, that's all we need. When Aaron Judge came up his rookie season, he struck out over 200 times. Ever since then, his strikeout rate has gone down drastically. I know last year, when you compare it to the year prior, 2023, it kind of get misconstrued because Judge missed a bunch of games in 2023 as compared to last year. So if you watch the videos for Spencer Jones, he is working on his strikeout rate, and that's something he needs to bring down if he's ever going to get a shot at the major league level.
When Spencer Jones went yard the other day, I said, oh my God, this is amazing for his trade value. I think we need to trade Spencer Jones. I'm not changing my mind. And he's never hit more than 17 home runs in an entire season. I'm not tripping, y'all. I am next.
You could have traded him last year for Corbin Burns, but
yeah.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you.
I don't know if Corbin Burns would have helped our situation in the playoff and the World Series, but whatever.
I'm never gonna be over it. Okay.
Yeah, everyone's immediately looking at Spencer Jones after this Giancarlo Stanton news.
I know.
And I'm
I
like,
can't.
we're so Spencer Jones has to hit a home run in every game this spring training in order for them to even consider having him in the starting in the roster, on the active roster. So yeah, that's not happening. I don't know. He's emulating. Have you seen his swing? It looks exactly like Aaron Judge's. So yeah. This is like a last resort. They're like, all right, well, if you can't hit like Aaron Judge with his swing, then it's over. I guess we should trade him. Hopefully we could get something for him. But I don't know. I'm not ready to give up on him just yet.
Yeah, when it comes to Spencer Jones, this is a guy that when you look at his track record, he's been dealing with injuries dating back to when he was in college, right? So the Yankees understood that he was a project coming out of college. They were lucky to get him in the first round. If he would have went back to Vanderbilt, everybody was projecting he would have been healthy as a hitter. He would have been a top 10 pick in the upcoming draft. So the Yankees, they took a gamble on Spencer Jones. Hopefully they're crossing their fingers that it could work out. But I'm with you, Erica. The Yankee fans that are calling for Spencer Jones to make the major league roster right now when he hasn't even played any games at AAA, it's laughable. And I understand Anthony Volpe made that leap, but look at how Anthony Volpe struggled in his rookie year, hitting borderline 200. Yes, he had 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases, but he was learning on the job. The difference between Volpe and Spencer Jones, Volpe wasn't striking out at a 40% clip the way that Spencer Jones is striking out at AAA, right? That's the difference between Anthony Volpe and Spencer Jones. Maybe Spencer Jones can show something at AAA. He's going to start the season at AAA. Maybe he could be a September call-up, but right now I'm with you, Grace. I'm focused on the people that are on the major league roster. Spencer Jones is not on the major league roster right now. If a trade presents itself that improves this team at the trade deadline, you may have to pull the trigger, Brian Cashman. I know you want to hold on to your rookies. I understand that. But at one time, Clint Frazier, Miguel Andujar, Gary Sanchez, they were all untouchable, all untradeable prospects. What happened? Nothing. And you could arguably say that not trading Clint Frazier and Miguel Andujar in 2017 cost the Yankees a World Series. You can say that. You can say that because we didn't trade for a pitcher at that trade deadline. We needed an ace, and who did we get? We got what was his name? We got Sonny Gray from Oakland.
Oh,
That's not a number one
God.
pitcher. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Sonny Gray.
Even Peraza was untouchable at one time. I remember at one point Cleveland was interested in him, and there was a couple other teams that were interested in Peraza, and they were like, nope, we're not trading Peraza. And what have they done with him? They wasted all of his options, and now he is literally out of options, on the edge of maybe having to pass through waivers or anyway.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we sound like
Peraza.
it's a broken record with the Yankees. Just they can't develop guys. I mean, I understand they lightning in a bottle. Aaron Judge, one of the best players I've ever seen, especially offensively. But I mean, that's one guy. Like, who else have they developed since the core four? The '90s Yankees. They've hugged every prospect. There's this idea that they're all going to be great, baby bombers, and there's only one of those guys left.
I'm hoping Austin Wells has a big year.
Me too.
That would be huge. I love him too. I want him to have a great year offensively. The defense is sound by now. He's, like I said last show, he's seen all the teams now. He went to a World Series. It's like old hat. Now I want him to let the offense come back to where it used to be. That would be amazing for the team. Huge. Volpe also is showing a lot of signs that his offense is going to come around this year, and I really hope that does come to fruition. The Anthony Volpe that we saw in the postseason, specifically the World Series, but in all of the postseason, that could be the Anthony Volpe going forward. And if that is the case, oh boy, we will be happier than a pig in slop, because the defense with Volpe has never been in question. Never been in question. He makes incredible plays there. His exit velocity has been higher than it's ever been in spring training so far. He's really seems like he's carrying over from what he unlocked toward the end of the season last year. So for that reason, I hope they leave him in the bottom of the order. Let his offense come around. That would be huge. So if we have Wells and Volpe come out, then nosebleed, exactly. If they come around this year, then maybe we'll be singing a different tune. We'll be like, man, we developed Wells, we developed Volpe. Hopefully that will happen, because I love them.
It's pivotal that one of those three guys has a breakout season this year, whether it's Wells, whether it's Volpe or Domínguez, because they're so important to this lineup. I'll continue to say it. There's a lot of question marks with this team, but especially if two of them can break out this year, that's the recipe for a very successful Yankee season. I think the pitching, we're loaded with pitchers at this point. I think our starting rotation is great. Our bullpen got bolstered, and we're getting guys back from injury. But there's just a lot of holes in this lineup, and if they perform the way that they did last season for the majority of the year, this lineup's not going to work as well.
Can I say something about the lineup, Heck?
Go ahead.
That's what I want to say. On the first game, I saw the future of the Yankees team of 2025, y'all. I had a moment. Jasson Domínguez comes up to bat. He works an incredible at bat, and he gets a walk. He's on first base. Bellinger comes up and hits a single. Jasson goes 2 bases. I was like, we're in there. Okay, so now we got guys on the corners. Goldschmidt comes up to bat. I know, Erica was like, Grace, this is spring training.
No, I love it.
No, Goldschmidt comes up to bat. He hits it to the warning track. Bitch hits a double. Jasson comes home. Belly goes around to third. Then there was an error, and Belly ends up scoring. Okay, it's 2-0, no outs, and there's not even an Aaron Judge in the lineup yet. And I know it's spring training, and the pitchers are not where they are, and blah, 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 blah. I know. But I saw the future of this team with batting around, playing for the guy behind you, small ball, all that stuff. Aaron Judge is going to come back in the lineup, and he's going to be the best player in baseball that he always is, okay? But even without him, I saw into the future. The next season, Peraza hits a single. The next inning. Then the next inning, Jazz walk. Volpe hits a weak ground ball, and he beats it out to first base with his speed. This is what I'm talking about. Speed, base running, defense. It's going to be a different vibe this year. without the kind of living or dying by Aaron Judge and Juan Soto show, right? It's going to be a different vibe, a different brand of baseball, but I am here for it, y'all. It could work. We lean on the youth and pray to the gods because it could work.
I think somebody that is flying under the radar, and Gregory Rain, appreciate you. Ben Rice. I think Ben Rice is going to have a big impact on this team. Whether he's platooning with Paul Goldschmidt at first base, the Yankees had him catching a game the other day in spring training, whether he's the backup catcher. I know they got JC Escarra, who killed it in the Lindome Dominican series. Shout out to JC Escarra, who was working exclusively with Yadier Molina. JC Escarra is a left-handed hitting catcher. Phenomenal defense. He won the batting title in the Dominican Lindome series. Again, you can put whatever weight onto it as you want. He has improved as a hitter. You see the flashes in spring training. But when it comes to Ben Rice, I'm going to pull up his numbers right now. Ben Rice, he hit 24 home runs last year in AAA, right?
That's like way more than Spencer Jones.
If Ben Rice was you're not going to let that go. If Ben Rice was drafted in the first round, everybody would be saying, our next first baseman is on the rise. Our next Yankee superstar is here. But Ben Rice, he was one of those kids that when C-19 was happening, right, when the whole lockdown happened, he lost his opportunity to play in front of scouts, playing college baseball. So one of the Yankees senior scouts, they were at a dance competition or something like that. I forgot the story. And somebody told him, like, hey, yeah, there's some kids in the backfield, like playing wiffle ball and like hitting baseball. So he went over there, and that's when he saw Ben Rice. He called up the Yankees immediately. He was like, we have to sign this kid. Ben Rice been a Yankee. And I think Ben Rice, he has the chance and he has the opportunity to be one of those Yankees players, the contributors that come out of nowhere, right? That nobody expected. Nobody expected him on the radar. When you look at Aaron Judge, not saying he's going to be Aaron Judge, but when you look at Aaron Judge when he was in the Yankee system, the Yankees had Gary Sanchez over him. When you look at the prospect rankings, they had Jorge Mateo over him. They had Luis Severino over him. Aaron Judge was like the fourth, fifth best prospect in the Yankee system before his rookie year, before he changed his batting stance with his hitting coach, right? So maybe, I'm not saying Ben Rice is going to be Aaron Judge, but maybe he could be one of those guys that breaks out of spring training and has a solid MLB career. He's a lefty hitting first baseman. He put on 10 to 15 pounds of muscles. You can see it. And I'm working on a t-shirt right now. It's called Benny Blanco from the Bronx. Shout out to Benny Blanco, aka Ben Arroz from the Bronx, right? So yeah, so shout out to Ben Rice. What's your thoughts, Grace, as you point out the married ring?
I said, oh man, let me see. Let me not get a restraining order filed against me. But yeah, Ben looks great for baseball reasons. I really want him to play a larger role on the team this year. They had him in the dugout during the World Series for a reason. I think they do have a plan for him, whatever loose plan it is. They had him stay in a place of prominence all year, and I think they're hoping for the best for the kid. They invited him to the catchers. They're letting him get a run with the catchers, as well as I heard they're going to give him some reps at first base. He could be a solution for us that's cheap, that is unexpected and effective.
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
Shout out to my guy Nathaniel Crenshaw in the chat who says, even though I am a diehard Dodgers fan, I always love and watch this podcast. Nathaniel, I appreciate you, my guy. And just to let everybody know, we just crossed the 150 threshold. We have 150 people watching us collectively on YouTube. There's 51 people. Smack that like button. We're on 40 likes. We're trying to get to 50. And when it comes to the subscribers, on YouTube, we are at 4,845 subscribers. We are 155 away from 5K. If you're watching, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Erica, I'll toss it over to you to get your thoughts about Arroz con Habichuela, Ben Rice.
I love him. He's a lovable guy. Like you said, give him a chance. There's a chance he can work his way. I mean, depending on the Stanton situation, he could become the DH.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously has the power, especially for Yankee Stadium. He had that 3 home run game. But he struggled from not getting consistent at bats. So, yeah, the most you could hope for is he takes advantage of the opportunity and plays his way into this lineup.
Mm.
We need somebody who can hit left-handed pitching. I heard somebody bring up this morning that with Giancarlo gone, and he was so good against lefties.
From LATINO.
Who's going to hit the lefties? And that was our problem last year. If
Goldschmidt can hit lefties, right?
Goldschmidt can hit lefties.
Yeah. He hit
Aaron Judge.
280 against left-handed pitching last year.
Yeah. Okay, that's one. Like, we got Aaron Judge, that's two. But I'm just like, I really hate that lefty problem. That was killing me last year. You
We have a
know.
lot of lefties again this year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we need having Oswaldo, and I know people point out how he struggled from the right-hand side, but I think because of the lefties we have in the lineup, the Yankees want him to be a switch hitter to have that balance, right? When navigating that lineup, yes, he may be an automatic out hitting 100 from the right-hand side, but he may be able to run into something. He may be able to still get on base, and it just gives more flexibility to the lineup. I got an interview here. Shout out to my guy Fadi from Latino Sports. He had an interview with Ben Rice, so I want to play the interview for y'all right now. Hold on, wait.
Fadi from Latino Sports. We're here with Ben Rice, New York Yankees. Hey, man, you just came up to the big leagues. Tell me, how is that transition from the minors to the big leagues, and what does it feel like getting your first hit in the big leagues? It was a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it feels really cool. Obviously, you know, it's definitely a big jump, but I feel like I was prepared for it and ready to hit the ground running here. And yeah, I mean, that first hit, man, I mean, that's what everybody dreams of. So that was an unreal moment.
We can see that it was a dream come true for you because you was all smiles off the batter's box, all smiles, joking with the first base coach. How was that interaction? What was you telling him over there?
Oh, man, I mean, yeah, I mean, you mentioned just being all smiles. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't hide any emotions in that moment. I mean, like I said, it was a dream come true. So I was going to be cheesing, that's for sure. And then I was just joking with my first base coach. He left me hanging. I think he was more concerned about making sure they got the ball, or like he was watching some of our base runners on second or third. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to just dap you up myself, man. Like, I'm excited. So.
Shout out to Ben
He's
Rice.
adorable.
He's amazing. Shout out to Ben Rice.
Remember when he hit 3 home runs and everybody wanted him to take a curtain call and he didn't know where to go and all the guys were pointing and he was like, oh, sorry. And he went and like took his hat off. It was so cute.
This is my favorite thing. And this is what, like, Ben Rice, he makes an effort to learn Spanish so he could communicate with his teammates. And that's something that I think it's something that's very important, right? Bad Bunny was just on Jimmy Kimmel a couple of weeks ago. And, you know, Jimmy was like, oh, your English got better. And Bad Bunny threw a shot at him, was like, yeah, my English got better, but your Spanish is still the same. You haven't improved on your Spanish, right? So if Bad Bunny can take time to learn English, maybe Jimmy Kimmel could take some time to learn how to speak Spanish to communicate. But I want to play this real quick from Ben Rice.
Let's see if I can remember. La apariencia engaña porque tú eres un blanquito, pero la gente no sabe que tú eres un malito. Un malito, un malito, un malito, un malito.
I love it.
It's important when you, especially if you have a Spanish-speaking pitcher like Luis Gil, who he's been catching for. You know, the ability to be able to speak to your pitcher when you're a catcher is obviously kind of important. So really, really cool that Ben has that in his toolbox. That's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Erica, what's your thoughts on that, E?
No, man, it's always fun. Every time I see a clip of him speaking Spanish, I'll send it to all my Dominican friends because they all know the songs that he's singing, and we just bond over that. I think it's hilarious.
It's cool.
And in the Bronx, I mean, they eat that up. They love it. You know what I'm saying? That's the demographic there. So yeah, he's cool. And honestly, vice versa, the Jasson Domínguez interview with Meredith Morakovitz, his English has come a long way. I was like, oh damn, like. Props to them. English is not easy to learn. Like there's days that I don't understand how one word means 3 different things spelled 3 different ways. It's like English is dumb, but yeah, shout out to Jasson Domínguez, man. He's really putting in the work too.
He's really smart.
Yeah.
No, he is. Jasson Domínguez comes from a very loving Dominican family, like, you know, very, very religious family. He comes from very smart. Both his mother and father, both were intellectuals. They went to school and they wanted to have him go to school to become a doctor. And he persuaded them that he wanted to be a baseball player. So shout out to Jasson Domínguez, his parents and his family. Obviously, you could tell he has a good head on his shoulders. And you could see it in the interviews that he is doing, right? Guys, but I want to shout out Anthony Medina, mi hermano de la isla is in the building. Anthony, hope all is well. Ronnie Green is in the building. Appreciate Ronnie Green. Of course,
so, Rodney.
He's still TC. Sorry about that. I apologize for not shouting you out earlier. I appreciate you, TC. Love you, my brother. But before we get out of here, I want to toss it over to both Grace and Erica. Give us your last topic. What are you looking forward to for the rest of spring training? What are you keeping in your eyes, Grace? If you want to go first and then toss it over to Erica.
For the rest of spring training, I'm looking forward to seeing Garrett Cole. No, he's going to be warming up, not having super high expectations or anything like that. It's obviously spring training, but I am looking forward to seeing Garrett Cole throw some. I've been worried about him, even though he looked amazing in the postseason, but through all of the injuries that he had to navigate through last year, it's been weighing on me. He's my favorite player, so, I want to see him. I'm really going to be pulling for Peraza like Eric and I were talking about earlier.
Mhm.
I mean, I am really, really yelling for that kid. I want it to work out so bad. Obviously, Jasson Domínguez is my boy, and I'll be pulling for him as well. I'm looking for Belly. He's looking like he's having so much fun out there so far. I love to see it. I love to see the vibe. It looks like the team is already gelling quite a bit, which is surprising, but the chip on their shoulder, all the quacking that the Dodgers fans did after the World Series is contributing to a different vibe, and I'm here for it. Jazz. Look, I'm looking forward to lots of things. I'm looking forward to a lot of things. But yeah. Can I tell y'all about my jersey?
My mom has that jersey.
Red jersey. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what happened. We were in this little bitty town in Texas, okay, that had no business having a Yankees jersey. We're driving by, and there's like this vintage shop, and in the front window of the vintage shop was this jersey. And we're driving by, and I told my husband, oh my God! He's like, what? And I go, oh my God, there's a red Yankees jersey in the window of that shop. And he goes, should I pull over? And I was like, yeah, pull over. Well, this was like a really busy downtown area, and there was a parking spot right there. And so he pulls over, we jump out, we run in, and I pull it out of the window, and I'm like, if it's somebody's lame number, I'm not getting it. It's number 2. So I was like, okay. And then my husband's like, try it on, see if it fits. It was my perfect size. And I was like, oh my God. And my husband goes, how much is it? Doesn't even matter. It's meant to be yours. And I was like, really? Red is my favorite color. Like how rare, like a red Yankees jersey. It's an old Majestic. I can't even show. It's an old Majestic, like number 2, my size, old school cup. I'm like, bro, you can't tell me nothing. Can't tell me nothing.
The history behind the red Yankees jersey is deep because Spike Lee is the reason why they have the red Yankee jersey, just how they have the red Yankee hat. Spike Lee was the first. He had a customized red Yankee hat that he wore, and George Steinbrenner was like, that's pretty cool. And he asked George, and George started making red Yankee hats because of Spike Lee and that red jersey as well. So shout out to Spike Lee. That why Grace has that on right there.
And my husband's awesome. He just like gets me. He was like, I'm getting it for you. It's meant to be yours. The parking spot was there. It was the perfect size. We're in the middle of Texas. Like, why is this jersey here? Like, it's meant to be yours. I'm just so excited. So thanks, guys, for noticing my red Yankees Spike Lee jersey.
Of course. Erica, what's your last take? What you looking for the rest of spring training?
Oh, Grace, yeah, my mom has that same jersey.
Twinning.
Yeah. To me, just kind of seeing how this lineup continues to get structured. Who's going to be the leadoff guy? I like that they keep. Well, not that they keep, but we've only seen 3 games. But seeing Jazz in there and then seeing Jasson Domínguez, I think it's going to be one of them. I personally think it's going to be Jazz. But yeah, just kind of seeing how they're going to structure this lineup. I have an idea of what they're going to do, but curious to see a look into Boone's mind, and then just kind of paying attention to the young guys again. The Peraza, seeing like Ben Rice, seeing guys like Lombard, like Rumfield, like future Yankees. You don't get to see them every day unless you're watching the minor league games. So I like getting to see them play during spring training, and I want to see if Rodon can have a bounce back outing because people are already jumping out his throat.
Yeah. Shout out to Carlos Rodon. I was doing a TikTok live, and somebody that is real close to Carlos Rodon came into the TikTok live, and he jumped up as a guest. And after he left, Erica, he literally messaged me and DM'd me. He was like, "Yeah, Carlos Rodon is quote unquote my family. Here's some pictures to show proof. He really liked your TikTok live." So I was like, "That's crazy." fire as fuck. Again, shout out to Carlos Rodon. I look for Carlos Rodon to have a bounce back season. If he's healthy, Carlos Rodon has a chance. And I'm not just saying this just because of that guy, but I've been saying this for a while. Carlos Rodon has a chance to be one of the best number 3 or number 4 starters in Major League Baseball if he is healthy. That intensity he has on the mound, every New York Yankee fan loves that energy he brings when he is spot on. When he pitched in the World Series, those first 3 innings, he was money. That energy he had was money, and Yankee fans were feeding off of that energy. And yes, he had his struggles, but his struggles is what his struggles is. Hopefully, Carlos Rodon, his back doesn't flare up. Hopefully, he throws that changeup a little bit more. That fastball, changeup, slider combination is a good key. That's what I want to look out for the rest of spring training is Carlos Rodon and how he could bounce back from this first year with the Yankees, last year, and moving now to like the number 3 role and the number 3 spot in that starting rotation. But on top of that, going back to what Grace said about Jasson Domínguez and Erica about his English, that has to do with Marlon, right? The Yankees interpreter. Shout out to Marlon. If you guys seen him, the guy that goes out there and, does the interpreting for the Yankees. I was at the Yankees when I was there at George M. Steinbrenner Field. We had a great conversation. He said how that has been an important offseason goal for certain players is to get better with their English. And Marlon, he gets credit for it because he's with these guys going through English classes, learning and stuff like that. So shout out to Marlon. I just wanted to say that before I get out of here. But it's 12:20. Go ahead, Erica.
Yeah, these guys don't want interpreters anymore, just in case they gamble under their name.
SOS.
Allegedly. But no, it's you guys could go and see it. He got sentenced, I think 72 months in a federal prison. And yeah, that was a horrible situation. He stole money from Shohei Ohtani. There's recordings of him pretending to be Shohei. Like it's comical. Like it's so funny. Like this dude really thought he was going to get away with this. Like he really thought he wasn't going to get in trouble with what he was doing to Shohei Ohtani. But again, it is what it is. That's why, sometimes you can't trust the people that are around you. Shohei knew him dating back to Japan. Shohei was trying to look out for a friend. And look what happens when you look out for a friend. But Ipe is
Imagine having so much money that you don't even realize that $12 million. How much did he steal? 12 million?
About 12 to 20 million dollars.
$12 million are missing. Imagine having that much money.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like, where'd that $20 go?
We could, I'm like, yo, I'm missing 50 cents. Who took my 50 cents? I stacked my 50 cents nicely. Who took this? But no. Again, folks, appreciate everybody. Erica, appreciate you for coming up here. I wish you a speedy recovery. You're more than welcome to join us here on these conversations that we're doing in the morning. Guys, make sure you guys follow Erica Instagram. Make sure you guys follow her on YouTube. We had some people said they subscribed already. I'm going to drop the link again to Erica's YouTube. There it is right there. You guys, make sure you guys go and subscribe to Erica. That's Baseball Erica. Of course, Grace, love having these conversations with you. You're the bestie. I love you so much. And a lot of people on TikTok that love you, Grace, you have no idea. They just love the shit out of you. Everybody loves you. We saw it in the chat today. Grace, you are amazing. You do amazing work. Just know that I'm going to keep hyping you up until you tell me to shut up. And even if you tell me to shut up.
Y'all are so nice. I take it real serious. I take it real serious, y'all. I'm a college-educated journalist. No, I'm not. I'm not.
We appreciate everybody. Thank you, guys. Yankee fans, like my guy Jimmy Randazzo loves to say, hug your girlfriend, hug your boyfriend, not your prospects. Guys, drink some water, say something positive about yourself. And until next time, I'm Hector.
I'm Grace Monroe.
I'm Erica.
This is Yankees Morning Brew. We are out of here. Deuces.
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.